Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Hunter, I am playing Bug Loam. This is a deck that Hunter has been asking me to play pretty regularly since he joined my Patreon a long time ago. I've played various iterations of Bug Loam for Hunter many times over the last year, and I'm excited to revisit it again because right now it's actually kind of well positioned. There is a 4-color Yorion mid-range like bug splashing white Green Sun Zenith deck that's really popular on Magic Online right now and in Legacy in general. I played it earlier this week on the channel, a flavor of it, and I got it 2 more times in the queue, so stick around if you're interested in that deck. This is the tighter package version of that. There's no Yorion, there's only 3 colors. We're sticking to one plan, and we're going to try to do it well. And that plan is control the game and grind opponents into dust. The engine of this deck is Life from the Loam. This is a Bug Loam deck. The things that support that engine, we have Field of the Dead as pretty much the primary win condition. Like there's Baleful Strix, Snapcaster Mage, Uro, Endurance, some Planeswalkers, Shark Typhoon. These are there, but those are mostly distractions while we hit land drops and win with Field of the Dead. Zagoth Triome lets you cycle and draw extra cards once you're loaming. Wasteland, you can squeeze certain opponents out of the game if they don't have basic lands to play with. Raven's Crime goes with the Loam package. You can turn Loam into 5 mana, make your opponent discard 3 cards, or just slow roll lands until they end up with any cards in their hand, and you can basically get your opponent hellbent and force them to top deck into the mid game and the late game. And the rest of the stuff is just good legacy cards. Sylvan Library, Baleful Strix, removal, some forces, and a variety of threats, which I actually like a lot. There's not one angle that can really wreck this deck. Like if you come in with Graveyard Hate, that checks Uro, but we still have Endurance, Jace, Shark Typhoon to win with, and Field of the Dead. If you come in with Swords to Plowshares, Jace doesn't care about that. Try to gum up the board on the ground, we got Shark Typhoon. Like there's just multiple different things happening here, and I like that a lot. I only made a couple changes to this list due to the way that my stuff is recorded. I usually get sent these lists 6 to 8 weeks before you see them, and 6 to 8 weeks is a long time in a Legacy metagame. I made a couple small changes. One of them was Hunter had a 2-in-1 split of Assassin's Trophy and Abrupt Decay in the main deck. I just turned that into 3 trophies. I think with the prevalence of lands-based strategies and Murktide Regent, you just need to kill that thing. The last few bug and bug adjacent fair deck leagues I've played, I've ended up just getting clowned by Murktide Regent with like Abrupt Decays and Fatal Pushes and stuff in my hand. I don't want that to happen. Assassin's Trophy, pile them in. I turned one of the 3 Loams into a second main deck Endurance, and the reason for that is even though this is a Loam deck, it's not a deck like Lands where you want to be Loaming every turn, starting turn 2 and really just getting that advantage. This is a control deck. This is a fair blue control deck that uses Loam as a card advantage engine, and it uses it a little more than a deck like Loambant would, because the Raven's Crime really changes the calculation on how often you want to be Loaming and picking up lands and stuff. But this Life from the Loam is a card you want to see exactly one of over the course of a game, and you usually don't need to see it early. For that reason, I replaced one of them with Endurance, which may seem like a weird choice, but in my experience, these decks frequently are flirting with decking and endurancing yourself to refill your deck with good cards. After Uro gets to escape and exile all of the bad cards, then you shuffle all the good cards back into your deck to go another round. That's actually a thing that comes up in control mirrors pretty regularly. The main deck had one Endurance already, but if you mill it over or it gets countered or removed before you're ready to pop it off, then you're just playing with the cards that you have, and I just don't think that's good enough. I do like the second Endurance here over the third Loam. And in the sideboard, Hunter had Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy in the sideboard. I moved the Assassin's Trophy to the main, left the Abrupt Decay, and replaced the other slot with Seeds of Innocence. This is a card that's been picking up some heat lately. It's 3 mana sorcery from Mirage. Destroy all artifacts, can't be regenerated. The controller of each of those artifacts gain likes equal to their mana value. This is pretty much specifically for Urza Saga. This kills all the tokens that Saga made, plus the Retrofitter Foundry or whatever, and any tokens Retrofitter Foundry made, and any artifact lands that deck might contain. This card is just really well positioned right now against what the Saga decks are doing. I considered Pernicious Deed in this spot, but Pernicious Deed requiring the mana investment up front and then a second mana investment to do the thing that it wants to do, versus just ripping this off the top and being able to tap 3 mana and make it happen. The tiebreaker was just mana efficiency. So we got a Seeds of Innocence in here. The other 72 cards are Hunter's list that he sent me 6 to 8 weeks ago. Let's see if it's still hanging out in the current Legacy. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got land drops to make, Force to protect myself. I wish this had a little more card selection early on, maybe a 1 mana removal spell, but I'm not going to get picky. If I have lands and spells in a deck like this, I'm in. Bloodstained Mire, what are we working with over here? Not a lot of decks play that card. We're getting reanimated upon. All right, I'm going to Force of Negation this Faithless Looting. And I have choices here. I could keep this Force in my hand and hope to draw a blue card at some point, or I could keep Uro, and that's my actual plan. I'm going to pitch Uro. I think that Force will just do more for this matchup. It's kind of fun to randomly have the Force of Negation for the Faithless Looting too. And I'm going to Wasteland here. Just going to try to constrict their options in these early turns. All I'm trying to do is buy time right now. Ooh, kept a 1-lander. Come on, blue card. Help me out here. My hand currently is non-functional, but so is theirs. Let's see who digs out of it first. Oh, they might just be missing land drops on purpose to go to discard. That's messed up. Okay, if I can get Liliana in before their creature arrives, that's good. But Liliana's plus is really bad in this matchup. Yeah, there's the Grizzle. Oh, Thoughtseize. That's a good one. A pleasant surprise off the top of the deck. I wish it happened last turn. That would have time walked them on there, go to discard strat. I have a ton of blue mana already, so I'm going to get Bayou for the extra green source. And seize their thoughts. 2 Exhumes, 2 Dark Rituals, and a Reanimate. Jeez. They can put all of these cards on the stack next turn. I could just take the Lotus Petal. Oh god. Or, what can I do here? I can take the Reanimate, let them Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. No, but then they just Dark Ritual again. If I force the first Dark Ritual... Oh, this is crazy. I think if I take Lotus Petal, that gives me the best chance. Okay, I'm taking Petal, though this is a relentless hand that they have over there. That Thoughtseize would have been so much better last turn. Oh, they drew the land. Life is pain. Now we lose for sure. They have a bunch of lands in the deck. I knew that was a high-risk play when I did it. But I wasn't beating just their fair plan here. Not at all. Okay, I can Force of Will this. If I don't Force of Will this, I don't get to force anything this turn. Yeah, this hurts. I think we've lost this one at this point. Yeah, that doesn't even cast the thing that I need to cast. Okay, here's the Dark Ritual now. And Exhume. Turns out this hand would have been a lot better if I had kept the Uro and pitched the Force, but there's no way to know that. 4 turns ago, 5 turns ago. If they Thoughtseize me or unmask me, I'm going to concede. I don't want them to know that Liliana's in my deck. Faithless Looting, I'm going to let that resolve. Just see some more cards in their deck before I concede, basically, is what's going on here. Knowing if they have the Children of Corliss or similar matters a lot. Reanimating Archon, okay. They're not going to show me children at this point. This is a tough game 1, and the fact that we took it to turn 6 feels pretty good. Not that that matters a whole lot. Okay, Flusterstorm, the 3rd Endurance, Crop Rotation for Karakas and Bojuka Bog. Both of these lands are effective in different ways against this deck. 2 Surgical Extraction. The sideboard is really heavy against this sort of deck because we know what the main deck is bad against, and it's this. All right, what's not so good? I don't think we're going to have time for Sylvan Library. Dress Down is in the maybe pile. Fatal Push is unplayable. Shark Typhoon is blue, but that's the only thing it has going for it. Assassin's Trophy can remove a monster once it's in play, but I'm boarding in this giant package to keep monsters out of play. Oh, 2 of those trophies can go. Raven's Crime is actually completely heinous against a deck like this. That's so funny. Yeah, sure. Were you looking for a Faithless Looting? Here you go. Snapcaster's pretty good. Dress Down is big maybe. Like, Dress Down is, again, a temporary stopgap. Like, if their Reanimate's gonna resolve, I can Dress Down so they don't draw 14 with Grizzlebrand at least. But that's not actually a long-term plan. I think Jace is too slow, but it does also bounce a monster if they have, like, a quick Emissary. I can take 3 hits from it and then stick Jace. Or 2 hits. I forget how big that thing is. Is it a 7 or a 6? Nobody knows. I think Shark Typhoon. At this point, we're just cutting cards that aren't that good. Actually, Loam might be bad here. Yeah, the game's not going to go long enough for a Loam to really pay out. Well, I better get all these good cards in. And then, do I want Loam, Shark Typhoon, or Dress Down? One of these gets to stay in the deck. I'll keep one Loam. You can get into situations where you like waste your own Bojuka Bog, loam them both back, and then bog your opponent, and then waste them. Like, yeah, there's stuff to do with that. 8 card sideboard plan. Let's do it. Thoughtseize, Force, no blue source. This is a heartbreaker. But I don't think I can mulligan it. We're a blue source away from running around in a circle with our hands in the air. Thoughtseizing an Enabler can go a long way. Like, if they keep a hand with a couple reanimation spells and a land, and you take the Entomb, then that can set them back really far. Alright, not if they lead on Chancellor, though. Okay, I'm gonna land pass. I have Force that I can pay the Troll Toll on Chancellor with, and then that opens up Thoughtseize for next turn. It's Swamp Petal. Chancellor is one of the cards in their hand. Oh, bummer. They just passed the turn. They're so smart. Come on, land, land, land. Had it the whole time. Thoughtseize you and pay the tax. We get to take a peek with Thoughtseize here. Entomb in response is what I didn't want to see happen. I'm going to force the Entomb, pitching, Brainstorm. Oh god, they had 2 Entombs. Is their hand also 2 Animates? Oh, it can't be 2 Animates. There's a Chancellor and 1 Mystery card. Oh wow. That sucks. Well, they may have just outplayed me brilliantly. They're just in top deck mode for a reanimation spell. Please don't draw one right away. And I would like to draw a land now, please. Had it. Never didn't. Now I got some choices. I can Brainstorm, looking for action. I can Uro, looking for action, which also gives me a redraw if I Entomb. I could also Liliana plus her discard Uro. That's probably the play. I need Underground Sea here to get all my colors. Then Liliana plus. The fact that they're so close to Hellbound already, I don't mind plussing. I'm probably not going to plus again this game. I guess if I can get myself Hellbent, it's fine. My beautiful boy. Come on, green source. Alright, we got there. I'm going to put these 2 back. And then I can hold up Endurance. I think holding it up is better than just playing it. I'm not activating Liliana. I could have main phased the Endurance and then plus Liliana, but I don't think that's actually good. Because if the last card in their hand is a monster, I just Endurance for nothing. I hope they Exhume here. Then I get an Uro trigger and they get nothing. Animate dead. Nah. There are basic forests in the deck. Just grab one of those. And you can go tuck yourself. Right, their graveyard's gone. Animate dead's gone. Put Caracas into play. I don't think I should activate Liliana, as awkward as that is. If there's a monster in their hand, activating Liliana is insane and terrible. If it's anything else, it's good. But I'm not going to give them that out. I don't have double blue for Uro right now, so I just have to pass. They just draw go. Okay, cool. Now I can Bojuka Bog for a blue source and cast Uro, or I can hold up Bojuka Bog for if they get something together. Yeah, I think I just hold up Bojuka Bog. I'm winning a game where nobody does anything at this point. Snapcaster is pretty dope. I can Thoughtseize them again, or I can Brainstorm. Oh, I can't Brainstorm, I don't have enough blue. So I guess I'll just Thoughtseize them again. This lets me know if I'm safe to plus Liliana, but my crop rotation is really important at this point, so I'm probably still just not doing that. Right, 2 monsters and a Petal in their hand. Good chance that one of the cards in their hand when I didn't plus Liliana was one of those monsters. Just the disciplined play here. Oh, there's Bojuka Bog. Cool. Alright, I'm going to attack with my creatures. And I guess I better put Uro into play at this point, because my hand doesn't do anything else. Float black. Oh wait, I don't have enough. Yeah, because the green I'd have to spend is also the green for Uro. Yeah, so maybe I plus and just discard the crop rotation and then bog them from hand. There's not a way to wiggle this Bojuka Bog in anywhere else. I could bog them, then rotate bog away, and then at least it's in the pool for Loam. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Yeah, don't love that, but okay. They're also dead on board, so let's just not be dead this turn. Okay, so they saw Caracas and Bojuka Bog. I guess there was some interest in maybe not playing the bog, because then they wouldn't have seen it for game 3. This crop rotation isn't necessarily in every deck like this. Yeah, Liliana's pretty awkward. That plus is awful. Yeah, this is still the play. My deck doesn't change after board. I have 10 free spells to interact on turn 1 with the Reanimator deck. 5 Forces, 3 Endurance, 2 Surgical Extraction, and then I untap into Thoughtseize Flusterstorm and Crop Rotation. Snappity keepities. This hand even powers through a Chancellor, which they don't have this game. They would need to unmask me twice. Grief's pretty solid. Alright, well, here is the first unmask. Let's hope they don't have 2. Okay, they took a Surgical. Now they're fetching. Thoughtseize. Okay. They did have 2 discard spells. Now I have the difficult decision of fetching blue to Flusterstorm, hold up Flusterstorm, and then Brainstorm next turn, or fetching black to Thoughtseize them. And I think it's actually just easily blue. And I don't think Assassin's Trophy changes that. Entomb and Faithless Looting, all of those are spells I can fluster. I guess they could just Animate Dead the Grief, and that gets around Flusterstorm. But that's also not a great use of Animate Dead. Faithless Looting. Alright, I'm here to counter that. They can Dark Ritual and pay. I just hope that they don't. Yeah, if they Dark Ritual and pay in response, then they have to string together monster and discard spell in the looting of the card in hand and 2 cards in their deck. Okay, here's the Entomb. They're down to 1 card in their hand. Come on, Brainstorm. Tie the room together for me, as you do. Brainstorm. They don't know I already drew the land. They don't need to know that. I think Assassin's Trophy is worse than Baleful Strix. And those are my contenders right now of what to put back. I'm casting Thoughtseize right now. That's happening. So put back Trophy. I think those are just both of the worst 2 cards. Because Ponder and Brainstorm can get me to the harder hate cards. Alright, put them into top deck mode. Strip your Exhume. They're Hellbent. Please don't draw a reanimation spell right now. Well, now they have Grizzlebrand. Okay, so I need to find Caracas, is basically what's going on here. I need to A, get another turn, B, find Caracas. Man, just fading one draw step there gives us Brainstorm and Ponder to bring up a crop rotation or find endurance or whatever. Like, blue deck versus non-blue deck doesn't matter when the opponent already is drawing the perfect cards. Come on, Caracas. Okay. I'm going to Brainstorm first because Ponder can shuffle itself. Though, if I shuffle, then I already used my land drop for Caracas. I guess I'm looking for a crop rotation at this point, just to keep the edge off. And I'm going to get Tropical Island this time. Ponder. Come on, crop rotation. Endurance, you are late to the party, and I'm mad at you. Shuffle this. Okay, looks like we're in trouble. We're already in trouble. They have 5 cards in their hand. Even if I bounce Grizzlebrand this turn, they're probably just bringing it back. But the hit and the extra 7 cards are really the brutal part of that. Another Animate Dead. I'm going to have to force that. I can't beat this second creature. Reanimate going to 1. Bold. But they go straight back up to 4, and I discard my forest. That makes sense. Strong. Now I'm dead even if I draw Caracas. Don't believe there's an out here. Even like stringing Uro into Caracas off the top doesn't give me enough life to survive an Archon hit. Yep, and we're dead. Had to fade that one draw step. The Ponder Brainstorm on the following turn found Force of Will and Endurance. We would have been rolled up if we had one more turn to breathe, but they did find what they were looking for, and that's the game. GG's opponent. Round 2, we're on the draw against a Kahira the Orphan Guard deck. I'm going to keep my hand. It's got a variety of cantrips and card advantage. Kahira, we're about to find out, but Kahira is usually in creatureless decks or elemental tribal decks, and that's about it. Okay, we're playing its lands, so it's a creatureless deck. It probably has endurance in it. That's the creature they have. It's the creature they can have, I should say. Gonna cast Ponder here off of a basic. There are 5 basics in this deck, which is pretty good against this Wasteland Tabernacle start. Endurance, Liliana, Polluted Delta. Are any of these good? I mean, they're all good. I'm just deciding how I want to have them. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put Endurance and Liliana in my hand. As I'm casting Sylvan Library next turn, I could do it off a basic if I want to. Swamp is the basic that I only have 1 of. I have 2 forests and 2 islands. Okay, and they just have Dark Depths completely rolled up. The Wasteland is actually going to win them this game, because if they didn't have Wasteland, I would have led on a dual land, which is able to cast Assassin's Trophy, which I'm not now able to do. I'm going to Ponder and try to spike a Wasteland. Got there. Don't shuffle, roll up my Wasteland. Try to just buy some time here. All they have to do is make a land drop, though, so that's not even really that great. Okay, they're going for it, so let them copy, let them choose, and then pop off after the copy is made, and alright, that was surprisingly effective. They must have Loam. That's the only thing that makes sense here. Or they're just more interested in Saga. Alright, I think this is the time to Endurance. Endurance pitching Assassin's Trophy. I want the library more than I want the trophy. And the fact that the graveyard is already full of the 3 perfect lands means that I don't get to let Loam resolve and then tuck Loam. I have to fight over this now up front. Basic Forest and Sylvan Library is the play here. This Saga is trouble, even if they don't get anything back together. They found Ancient Tomb, Thespian Stage, which is like the perfect 2 lands to just immediately copy Urza Saga with. Oof. Oof. I mean, I caught a break on that Wasteland. I'm not going to complain. Just saying. That was hefty. All right, Sylvan Library triggers. I've been so into Loam lately that I haven't actually resolved a Sylvan Library activation in a while. This is going to feel good. Burrow and Brainstorm. I'm going to pay 4 life to keep Brainstorm. And I'm going to put my Forest on top. Because I get to go Tropical Island, Burrow, jam the island from the top of the deck into play. I guess I want the Polluted Delta in play to get my black sources up. I might need to Liliana in the near future. But that pulls me ahead of the Wasteland. And now they have the choice to make a Saga token or copy Saga. Oh, that's awkward. I hadn't considered Tabernacle taxing their own construct tokens. That's fun. For me. They dredged Loam again. I'm going to fetch a basic swamp in response to this trigger. I don't want to get randomly clowned by Needle if I don't have to. They did just mill over their Retrofitter Foundry from dredging Loam. That's fun. They got Expedition Map, which can get Dark Depths, which can threaten Merit Lage. Not this turn, but it can do it next turn. And Saga's back on that Loam train. Yeah, these game ones are nightmares. Okay, put back Brainstorm. And put back Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I can't cast both of those. I can cast Baleful Strix, which can trade with this construct. I have not made a land drop this turn. I can Brainstorm now. Try to get that developing. I actually do want to do that. Did find a land drop. I found my own Loam too. Hell yeah. Let's do this. I don't think Liliana is going to be where I want to be here. Assassin's Trophy is one of the best cards I could ask for. And unfortunately, Brainstorm is just, by process of elimination, the worst card left. Oh, did I make my land drop already? Did I miscount somehow? Fucking whoops. What land did I play this turn? Was it the island? I don't even remember. Life is hard. Yeah, I cast that Brainstorm entirely based on thinking I had a land drop, which I don't. They mapped for Dark Depths. I have the Assassin's Trophy for that. Unless they main phase it, at which point I don't have the trophy for that anymore. Then I am in garbage time. I have Jace and Liliana that can answer a Merit Lage once it's in play. I guess Dress Down can also remove the Indestructible. And they've seen Wasteland already, so they probably should just main phase it. I'm not going to block this Construct token if it attacks. This Baleful Strix has bigger work to do, which is treading water against Merit Lage. By not blocking, I'm indicating that I can't answer a 2020. I wonder if that is information that's relevant to my opponent or not. The sick joke is, even if I can't answer the 2020, I'm going to have trouble against the construct tokens that won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay, Brainstorm on top, Liliana on top, and then shuffle them all away. Liliana's just not good here. Okay, they're going for this right now. Probably should have done that on your own turn if you were going to do it. Oh, I'll trophy the stage again. Dark Depths fails to pop again. And then I have another basic forest in the deck. Gonna reload my hand on lands here. I want Wasteland, Tropical Island, and a fetch. Really wish I had room to Endurance here, but that would cost me my Loam. And also, I'm still dying to the Saga that's already in play. Yeah, I need to do some Uro stuff this game. Strix is definitely going to block this turn. They can Loam back stage and depths, but they won't have mana to do it all this time. Right, they needled Polluted Delta. That is not one of the 3 cards I just targeted. I picked up Misty Rainforest. Make my trade with Strix there. Oh no, they're tapping more mana. Oh, it's for the Loam. That's right. I knew about that. So relentlessly presenting their threats over and over again here. I'm not going to dredge Loam or any of the library draws. Oh, whoops. I just said no to Sylvan Library's trigger when I meant to say no to do I want to dredge. Okay. You got me. And by you, I mean me. I got myself. Congratulations, DJ Khaled. I'm going to brainstorm some of these extra lands away. Don't dredge loam. Don't dredge loam. Don't dredge loam. Put back the 2 duels. I guess I should put back a duel and a fetch just to conserve life total. And play my land. Fetch. Escape Uro. Tropical Island. Whatever I get is just going to get wasted. It has to make blue, though. I guess it's Tropical Island. Blue, blue, green, green. You can exile the blue to Deltas for free. They gave me that one. And Baleful Strix can probably get exiled as well. Very interested in drawing a green card. I guess I could dredge loam and then just pitch it for endurance. Oh, that's something. Yeah, I am going to dredge loam and put Wasteland into play. They're wasting my trop. Okay. I'm going to waste their Thespian Stage right now while they can't copy a basic. And then I'm going to cast Endurance by exiling Life from the Loam and endure their graveyard away. Now they have Uro versus these construct tokens, dual decks. Okay. Hopefully I can fade a relevant spell, or they could just have Caracas right now and kill me. Okay, yep. Did I know all the cards in their hand? I don't think they were slow rolling that Caracas. I'm pretty sure the 2 cards in their hand were just like the 2 lands they picked up last turn. Seeds of Innocence coming in, Endurance coming in, Caracas comes in against Merit Lage. I like crop rotation. It helps play against Wasteland, and it helps me get access to my Caracas and stuff. I don't want like a ton of surgicals. Like, I don't know if I want both, but I definitely want some. I'm also not sure if I want Bog. Because this isn't Reanimator, where you can just put every single card with graveyard text in the deck. You do have to beat Merit Lage, you have to beat Urza Saga, and you need functional cards to do that with. I think Force of Will can go a little lower. I still like Force of Negation. Dress Down is great. Loam's great. Library's great. Strix is medium. Raven's Crime is actually pretty bad. So is Thoughtseize. Fatal Push is bad too. Using Fatal Push to answer 1/3 of an Urza Saga is not where I want to be. I want to be cantripping for Dress Downs, Wastelands to keep it from happening, Seeds of Innocence to clean it up. That's what I want to be doing. I do like Shark Typhoon. Abrupt Decay has some text, like they might bring in hate cards like Spheres, or yeah, Sphere of Resistance, that kind of stuff. I like Strix. I don't know if I can play 2 of them. Actually, I think it's just Thoughtseize. Sorry, Thoughtseize. All these 1-mana black cards are out, bringing in green cards. Blade Onto the Last Hope can win the game by itself. The plus is mostly flavor text, but the -7 is a very real game ender. Do I think Surgical is better than Bog? I actually do. Oh, Bog out, second Surgical in. I'm going to do it like this. So I don't really want to draw Bojuka Bog at any point. And crop rotation, you can just rotate away from Wastelands or into Wastelands as needed. This hand looks pretty good. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to get my basic island set up first. Cast Ponder. Ponder found me Surgical, another Ponder, and another Uro. I don't really want these cards. I want land drops at this point. Grove, Diamond, and Sphere. No surprise there. That's why I wanted land drops. That's why I shuffled the Ponder. I found another land that's good. Can get basic forest now. Cast another Ponder. Let's keep these lands coming. Wasteland, Endurance, and Swamp. Those are 3 excellent cards to find. Okay. That's what my turn looks like for the next few turns. If they do have Loam. Alright. This Endurance can maybe catch the Loam in the near future. I'm going to play my Wasteland out. I just want to make sure I don't die to Merit Lage right now. That's step one. They just milled an Endurance, confirming that is in the deck, which I'm not surprised by, because they have Kahira. They got their own Wasteland now. I can dress down in the end step, and then untap and slam Uro, and it's just in play. But I actually think the trigger on Uro is worth getting. They can't crop rotate into Merit Lage because of their own sphere. Like, it would cost them 2, they'd get Dark Depths, and they wouldn't have the mana. Alright. Time to invest in Uro here. Pay the extra for the sphere. Dig through the deck, hit the land drops, pull ahead of sphere. Alright, crop rotation. Happy to see that. They can Wasteland my Wasteland right now while I'm tapped low. That only matters if Dark Depths is in their hand, though. And I have the rotation for Caracas ready. Okay, they did have the crop rotation. And they're bogging my Uro. Sure. Exploration. That's kind of tough, but I can't do anything about it. That did use up their green source for the turn. Oh, right, they had Yavimaya in hand. I knew that. Okay, they waste my waste. You got it. They can cast Loam, picking up Grove and Wasteland. And then I can cast Endurance next turn. Just heads up, clear the graveyard. Misty Rainforest, happy to see that. And I am going to fetch rather than tapping for green because I don't want my fetch land to get wasted. Grab this forest and then Endurance your Loam away. Get rid of that. Their hand is Wasteland, Grove of the Burn Willows right now. And I have Merit Lage covered. I have Urza Saga mostly covered. Alright, just firing off Wastelands, betting on me being out of basics, but I'm not. I do have one more. Now I'm out of basics. Oh god, did they draw Loam? Stop! No! Okay. Well, there's that. And they put Kahira in their hand. So their hand is Kahira and Grove of the Burn Willows. Can I get a Surgical or something here? I can Brainstorm. Zagoth Triumph, Sylvan Library, Force of Negation. That's not the worst spread I've ever seen. I can play Library this turn. They get to Loam once, and then we're just in the Library after that. I can drop Zagoth Triumph into play, try to eat up land drops, but I don't think they're really hurting for land drops right now. And I'm going to put back Snapcaster and Assassin's Trophy. I'll play Library. Get my 3 damage in. And this Triumph will be better off as a cycle, I'm sure, than just getting eaten by this Wasteland when they're already loaming. They wasted their own bog. They're picking their bog back up. Okay. Yeah, this is a lands player with land drops to spare. They're just keeping my graveyard in check. I'm going to start paying aggressively with the Sylvan Library. Try to pull ahead. This Force of Negation can check the Loam. Alright, there's my Loam. Do I want that? All these cards are actually bad. Snapcaster pitches to dress down. I'll take that. Alright, let's just take it all. I'm in. Let's do the damn thing. Okay, attacking with Endurance. And I can't afford to cycle Triome right now. Force of Vigor, Rishadan-Port. Oh, Rishadan-Port's in their list. I don't think that's standard anymore. Alright, I get to hardcast this card. That almost didn't even occur to me to hardcast my Force. I was just ready to pitch Snapcaster. Let's get that under control. Drawing a card immediately with Waterlogged Grove. Those are their 2 land drops for the turn. Now we get to pull ahead. Another trophy. Okay, I don't actually want Caracas in my hand at all. And I don't want to pay life for an extra trophy. Like, if Caracas is in my hand, then I have to play it in order to use it, and then they can waste it before I can use it. If Crop Rotation is in my hand and Caracas is in my deck, then Merit Lage actually can't kill me. I could fetch and then cycle Triome right now, and that gets Loam online. I'd rather just cycle when I know it's an instant. Like, holding up trophy and rotation here is a good insurance policy for most things that could go wrong. Kahira the Orphan Guard is here. This is just a 3-2 Vigilance, I think. Yeah, okay. 3-2 Vigilance resolves. They played Basic Forest, which was not accounted for previously. I can't interact with that map meaningfully, so I won't. Okay, I'm gonna fetch, because I know I don't want the cards on top of my deck. I have to get a non-basic here, which is fine. If they waste me, I'm gonna cast my Loam and get it back. This is hanging out there on purpose for the most part. Cycle Triome. Do they want to waste me? They do. Guess that would have been a good opportunity to crop rotate. That's literally why I put that card in the deck. Okay, put Tropical Island on top. Do I want to go to 6 to keep a Brainstorm? Probably not. An attack for 3. Yeah, Snapcaster can trade with Kahira. Or I can rotate into Caracas if it really becomes a problem. This thing doesn't have lifelink or anything, right? Nope, it has Vigilance. That's what I thought. And here's my Loam. Here's my fetch land. And I have to discard to hand size. I'll discard the other fetch land. I am currently winning this race. Map. Are they trying to pivot into Saga? Do they just get Dark Depths here and try to spike? I can't wait to find out. Oh, Field of the Dead. That one's actually scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 lands right now. Do I think they have a snow-covered forest in this deck? I'm going to bet against. Fetch Bayou. And Assassin's Trophy on... Oh shit. If they activate Stage in response... That does change the name of the thing, at least. Okay. And then it doesn't matter if they have a forest. Yeah, I'm going to trophy the field in response. They do have a snow forest. Okay. All good. It is good deck building to have snow forest under those circumstances. Now I'm not winning the damage race anymore, but I don't have to. I am firmly driving in this game. Oh, there's a Mazabith in play. I don't even know where that showed up. I was never winning the damage race. All right, I am not dredging Loam. I am activating Sylvan Library. Top. They're finally out of Wastelands. And I can just pass the turn here. I'm holding up Force of Will if they draw anything. They probably should have copied the Field of the Dead with their Thespian stage when it was still in play. Tabernacle has entered the chat. Cycle Triome. I'm not going to dredge Loam because I do want the Ponder. I will dredge Loam now because I don't want all these other cards. Or by all these other cards, I mean Force of Will. Yes, use the ability. Put both of these on top. Because I didn't draw Loam, I dredged it, so it doesn't count. And I have apparently tapped my green source. Oh wait, shit. They have Yavimaya. Slow down, homie. Green. Oh wait, I don't have 5 mana. Oh, I needed to keep one of those lands in my... Wait, I do have 5. What the fuck is happening right now? Why isn't my brain working? Green. Green. Blue. Blue. Colorless. Okay, I did have everything I needed there. Force of Will, Ponder, and these fetch lands, and Bayou. Maybe I shouldn't have exiled Bayou, but I have a black source already. And then I'm drawing a land, which I can put into play off Uro, which represents Force of Will, which protects my Uro. And now we're just playing for clock. Okay, they've smartly conceded. They could have eaten up a lot of my clock there and made me win a game 3. I appreciate that they didn't make me do that. I was definitely winning that game, though. Maybe I just do want Bog. Well, they've been pretty hot on the graveyard lately. And maybe I want Liliana, the Last Hope as well. What would I cut for these 2 cards? Actually, I think that rules out Bog. I don't have 2 slots, that's for sure. I'm going to cut a Strix for Liliana. I think that's just the worst card left over. Not that it's bad. It does cantrip. It is blue. It does block Merit Lage for a turn. All of those things are true. It's just everything else is serving a really important and specific purpose, except for Strix, which is just like, I don't know, it cantrips. I'm going to keep this hand. Lands and spells, let's do it. We have Verdant Catacombs and Exploration. They've been very good at having Exploration. Oh, Rashadan Port. Fuck. Don't like that card. I'll play Verdant Catacombs. I can fetch a basic forest when they try to port it. Alright, I'm ready for that one. Torpor Orb. I'll deal with that later, if I need to deal with it at all. I don't think it's worth a Force of Will. Okay, Brainstorm. They can make me fetch in response. Or I could just tap my fetch land. It's all good. Yeah, I'm going to let the fetch land get tapped. And then put these basics back into the deck. Because that's what I want to be fetching. If they do follow up with Wasteland here, then they got me good. Otherwise, I'll feel pretty smart for letting that thing get tapped. They do have the whole stage combo lineup here. That's tough. That demands a Wasteland or a similar answer pretty much immediately. I'm going to fetch right now. They can... Sure, that's tapped. I'm going to get my basic forest. Oh wow, they went hard on that. I think this Wasteland's going to be a giant punish. Yeah, they went really hard on the mana denial when I think they should have been going really hard on killing me with constructs. Another Exploration. Yeah, they're just empty. They're just on ports over there. I'm going to float blue in response. I'm just going to run the Snapcaster out. With Torpor Orb, it's just a 2-1 anyway. Might as well put it into play while I have mana. Okay, cool. I can cast Ponder. I can save Prismatic Vista. Highland, Ponder, Life from the Loam, and Uro. These are all good cards. Okay, let's do this. I am in position to win this game. Okay, Life from the Loam. In the Saga is a bummer, but they tap their stage to do that, so I'm okay taking a turn. I guess I don't get to develop through Uro, do I? No, I just attack for 2. They port me. Okay, ported. Ported. No blue. That's what you think. Gonna fetch. Oh shit, I can't get basic swamp. I have to get the other basic forest here because of Uro. I just picked up the Wasteland. That's a good one to have. Oh wait, I can just cast Uro. I don't need to escape it. It's just gonna show up and play. That's how Torpor Orb works. Duh. Someday I'll figure out how to play this game. And then you're all in trouble. Okay, so I have Wasteland lined up for the Saga or the stage, whichever one becomes necessary. Dress Down can clean up the constructs. Life from the Loam. Another one. Or did they dredge into that one? I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. Wasteland and Verdant Catacombs. Going to Hellbent. They just copying Saga before I can put Wasteland into play? Oh, nope. Apparently not. Yeah, they get to Rashadan Port a little bit here. I'll float blue. And not do anything with it. Not going to dredge Loam. Okay, there. Porting my blue again. I don't think I need to drop this Wasteland this turn. I think I just want to play Uro. I want to attack, I think. So their construct would be a 2-2. And just trade with Snapcaster. Okay. Deal. And then Uro. In play. Wasted me in response. Okay, sure. Oh, Jesus. They just milled over Caracas. I'm going to force their Loam this turn. Pitching Strix. Try to buy myself some time. At least one attack with this Uro would be great. Before they just get to answer it easily forever. They also milled over Ghost Quarter. I need Graveyard Hate immediately. Force pitching Strix. Strix is not getting better here. Yeah, that is a 2-mana 1-1 with Death Touch. If they didn't activate Map, I think they still had a land drop, right? I can't dress down here because then Uro doesn't get to trigger, which is kind of my whole strat. Uro gets to attack. Not dredging Loam. put a land into play. This land gets to cast Brainstorm. Brainstorm needs to find Graveyard Hate. I just found 3 lands instead. Not what I was looking for. Those 2 back. Sylvan Library. Wasteland. Is there anything to waste right now? I don't believe so. Yeah, they get to pick up Caracas here. Yep. Caracas bounces Uro. Activating their map. Getting Dark Depths. Okay. Saga. Yeah, the double exploration's pretty serious. I'm gonna get really aggressive with my life total here. I'm gonna dredge Loam. I don't want these 2 lands on top of my deck. Float blue. And cast Dress Down. Oh, I can dredge Loam off Dress Down and then see all fresh cards off library. That's fun. They're porting my other island. Dredge Loam. Yes. I'm not doing anything with this floating mana. Yes. Caracas crop rotation. Is crop rotation good? Right. Uro on top. I don't need that. I'll pay for Caracas. I guess I wanted that in my deck. Now I'm just spewing off. And I can't activate Wasteland. I can't play Loam. Basically can't do anything. I'm in trouble here. I didn't bring in the Bog. I thought about it, then changed my mind. Yeah, I think I just have to pass the turn. Life is pain. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to just waste that Saga. Yeah, that was supposed to happen. I forgot that was over there. I was looking at the stage in the depths. I'm just like thinking about the clock and how I can win quickly here. Milling over that Caracas 2 turns ago was really brutal. They're Rashad porting my Wasteland, which means they plan on activating their Wasteland. Alright, I'll kill their Dark Depths in response, I guess. If they make the Merit Lage, I have Caracas ready. Okay, yeah, this is on their main phase. I'm good with this. Loam, yeah. Bajuka Bog should be in my deck. Alright, I will crop rotate in response to this. That's why this is here. Let's play around Wasteland. And I'm gonna get my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could get my field. I do have another Wasteland. I probably want that. Oh yeah, Ghost Quarters in the mix now. This shit is done. Honestly, I think I could figure this out if I had 9 minutes on my clock. Like, really, 1 piece of Graveyard Hate breaks up what they're doing. Okay. I get to tap that. Use all of this. Ooh. Put on top. Pay for life to keep it. There's my Caracas. Fetch. Underground Sea. Jace. Brainstorm into Surgical or... Okay. Found Surgical. Extract their life from the Loam. Their hand is Dark Depths. 1, 2, 3 Loams out. Okay. Bounce Merit Lage. Wasteland Saga. And they can attack Jace for 2. I'm F6'd. I actually think I would win this game with 3 or 4 more minutes on the clock. And maybe not. They can Ghost Quarter my Caracas, and then I'm in trouble. Right, they're going face. They realize that damage is where this game is happening. Oh, I have Loam. No, I'm good. Kahira in hand. Kahira in play, probably. Yep, Kahira in hand, Kahira in play. Sphere. That was a pretty good last card in their hand. Right, they tapped out a Dark Depths, though. That's just not the plan. That's tapped. Yes. Put on top. Put on top. Bounce Kahira. Cast Loam. Wasteland, Wasteland, Bayou. Play Wasteland. Bounce. The Construct. Pass the turn. Yeah, I win this game, unless I clock out. Ghost Quartering my Wasteland. In response, I'll waste their Caracas. That's the card I'm actually worried about right now. Loading mana in response. Did they top deck crop rotation? What's going on? Alright, I'm gonna F6. I can't do anything. Nothing to bluff here. Kahira's in play. They're porting island. Porting also island. Don't dredge. Yes, use this. Oh god. Sylvan Library plus Life from the Loam is absolutely horrific to click through when you're in the process of timing out. Right, plus Jace target them. Nope, you can have that. We might still do this. Oh no, I have 42 seconds. That's not enough to click through Life from the Loam, much less anything else. I'm just going to start declining library triggers. Oh good, they're going to kill my library. I don't have to think about it. Yep, library's dead. You got it. Okay, play Bayou. Return Kihira to its owner's hand. Wasteland your Maze of Ith. Go ahead and make Merit Lage. Oh, they copied Maze of Ith. That's what happened. Okay. Attack with Uro. Yes, Dredge Loam. Put Polluted Delta into play. Loam, pick up Wasteland, Wasteland, Tropical Island. God. No. F6, F6. We win this game, like, right now. I waste their Maze of Ith, the game is over, but I'm not going to be able to do all that in 4 seconds. Yep, bounce Kihiro with Jace, bounce Jace, or bounce Merit Lage with Caracas. We win this game in our hearts, but whatever. 40 more seconds on the clock, we win that. Count that as a win. See you next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to keep this. Island Ponder. We keep those. I'm going to ponder. I'm looking for land drops. Like, it doesn't matter what my opponent's doing. I'm just in the market for land drops. That might change things. Just a disruptive spell and a cantrip, 2 cantrips, and I can shuffle one of them away. Oh no, another Bloodstained Mire deck. Oh, it's this Bloodstained Mire deck. Well, Goblin action. Okay, that is a different thing. I think I want to play my Strix this turn. You get Underground Sea. Because hitting land drops here is going to be really important. Their Goblins is usually a Wasteland deck. I mean, there's some bit like combo-oriented builds that aren't, but traditionally Goblins is a Wasteland deck, and getting wasted is the way that I lose this game. Like, I have all these disruptive elements, but it's not going to matter if I can't cast any spells. Pile Driver. All right, I'm ready for that one. Come on, deck. Land off the top. Help me out. Field of the Dead. I'll take it. It is a land. I think Thoughtseize is better than Fatal Push right now. I want to know what their plan is, because they're untapping into 5 mana if they want it all. Goblin War Chief. They do have Wasteland over there. Shit. That's bad. Alright, I'm taking War Chief. This Pile Driver will be a problem if they waste me off black until I find another black source. Smog Fanatic is outrageous. There's that. Wow. Yeah, I guess they get extra damage this way. Alright, maybe please don't take me off black. Let me untap. Let me untap. Just a little untap. Cool. We got just a little untap. I'm actually going to snap Ponder instead of Fatal Push here, as pondering into the next land is so much better than just not spending 2 of my 3 mana this turn. Missing my land drop, letting my opponent know my pants are down. And got rewarded with that. Okay. Feeling good about that one. Maybe I'm supposed to push on my turn so they can't make mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I know... Oh, they do have a mystery card in their hand. Yeah, they've drawn 2 cards since I saw their hand last. Matron. That's a little bit scary. I do have forces, and they don't have a cavern right now. Matron for Matron. I am pushing this. Getting Bayou to do it. Bayou, Fatal Push. Get you out of here. And Matron for Matron is like a big investment in the future line. I'm going to go with one of these Uros, saving the other for Force of Will. Really hope to hit an untapped land here. Okay, Zagoth Triumph can come into play. Ponder. Okay, cool. Hit another land. It's also a land that lets me shuffle away those cards I don't want on top of my deck. All right, we're doing something here, doing the thing. One land away from Field of the Dead, doing zombie stuff. Getting involved in zombie-related activities. War Chief. I don't think that's the fight right now. They have Matron, Sling Gang, and one mystery card in their hand. All right, now I know their whole hand. Yeah, I'll trade any amount of material for a goblin right now. Like, it represents mana. There's a lot going on over there that... Okay, if I get Tropical Island... Or Zagoth Triumph just covers all of the bases anyway. So maybe I have to get a basic blue, blue, green, green. Yeah, Zagoth ties the room together here. Basic island. Trying to pay off my Field of the Dead. Blue, blue, green, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Balancing Loam and Snapcaster Mage as like the two things that my graveyard cares about is a little cautious. Okay, Oro's in play. I have Force of Will and Dress Down, so I can dress down a Matron or a Muxus if I decide it's not worth countering or I don't want to counter it. Rashad and Port, and their hand is still Matron and Sling Gang. I'm just going to dress this down. They have so much mana disruption right now that holding up 2 mana again in the future might not be an option. Let's just stifle this Matron trigger. It wasted my field. Gonna start attacking colored sources too. I don't think so. I think they want their mana. Raven's Crime's actually going to be awesome here, which doesn't happen often. Enjoy it while it's here. I'm gonna attack first. That lets me put a land into play with Uro and save my land drop in case I drew a cantrip to make a land drop later. Which I didn't, but that's okay. It's crime time. Let's put that Sling Gang commander in the graveyard. Or lieutenant, Sling Gang, whatever. Slang Bang, whatever. And Endurance can eat whatever their best creature that attacks is. Raven's Crime's actually going to keep them from amassing Cavern and Muxus over like multiple turns. So like whatever's in their hand has to hit the stack if they want it. Green, green, colorless. They know what's happening here. Disappointing result for them. Yeah, yep. They're going to scoop it up to that. That was nice. I mean, they didn't fire off Wasteland aggressively. They were saving it to tap and cast spells with, which I'm willing to believe is right. In that game, it went wrong for them, but they probably know how to play goblins better than I do. But my shaky mana start, they didn't waste me, and then I was able to cantrip into more, and that all worked out well. Okay, Plague Engineer, Toxic Deluge, onto the Last Hope, complete bangers. Force of Negation, garbage. Raven's Crime's actually fine. Thoughtseize is fine. Force of Will is good if they don't have Cavern, and terrible if they do. But I do have Wastelands and Assassin's Trophies that can kill Caverns. So there's more interest in Force of Will in this particular deck than there is in a lot of blue decks that I play. Yeah, Lily of the Veil is kind of awkward. She minuses to just do anything, which I like. Like between Pile Driver, Prospector, Muxus, Sling Gang, like there's a bunch of things that care about just any goblin being in play. I don't think Sylvan Library is what I have room for here. I'll keep my Planeswalkers. This is what I'm doing. Okay, squad. I'm gonna keep. I have Thoughtseize to keep myself alive until turn 3, and then I have Plague Engineer. And that's the whole strat. Let's see if it works. I'm going to fetch Basic Swamp. Just having the mana still be around by turn 3 is going to be part of the trick. They have Port and Wasteland, and lands that are good against Port are bad against Wasteland and vice versa. Lantern of the Lost, what the fuck is this? ETB, exile a card from a graveyard, exile Lantern of the Lost, exile all graveyards, and draw a card. Okay. So this is somewhere in between Relic of Progenitus and Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, sure. Muxus, Pyroblast, Vile. I think it's actually Vile that I'm worried about here. I mean, Vile sucks if goblins suck. I'm going to take Pyroblast. Good Luxus with your Muxus. Yeah, I don't know about this graveyard card. We'll see. I didn't bring in Seeds of Innocence, which apparently would have been insane here. My Thoughtseize is in exile now. You got it. Life from the Loam. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna Loam, and if I can trick them into popping their hate card thing, then that's good. Because I really want this Uro to do stuff. I'm not gonna Dredge Loam. I have enough lands in my hand. I'm gonna just push into this graveyard spell. I'm gonna Dredge Loam on this Uro. I don't want them to get my Uro and my Loam, but we can demand that they answer the graveyard now, and then Loam still gets to ride. I lost my Toxic Deluge and 2 of my basics to that Loam. Alright, they're doing the graveyard thing. Graveyards are gone. Vials still haven't been activated, with 4 cards in hand. They don't have a 1 or a 2 to put into play. Oh, they left Vial on 1 after not using it last turn. That's weird. I'm suspicious. They have a land. They're doing something. Hope it's not Blood Moon. That would be annoying. And I'm not dead to it. It would just be annoying. Okay. Matron gets to tutor for something. I held back the Plague Engineer because I didn't want them to know we were going to play a grindy Plague Engineer game. If they just get, like, Ringleader here. Yeah, see, like, getting Lackey is exactly what I wanted. Because now that's a waste of a search until they can answer the Engineer. Here it comes. If Engineer was in play already, this Matron could have got Ringleader. The Vial is untapping on 4 anyway. Yeah, that would have been a lot worse for me. Yeah, Goblin. That sounds like the right answer. If they don't activate their Vials in my end step, I'm probably going to hit the 1/4 with Trophy, but it looks like they're activating it. Okay, now they're matroning to tutor, switching up the plan. Plague Engineer is good for 2 cards so far, or at least 2 bodies. Each of these replace themselves, the matrons, but they're not in play counting as goblins for various reasons. Now the trophy's a little interesting. I don't really want them to violin a Ringleader and have all their mana still up. But if I trophy them, then they'll have 4 mana. I think I'm going to trophy. Let's do it. Get a Tropical Island. Black, green. Let's at least make them tap out if they're going to do something like this. Oh, Basic Swamp. Crazy. Their Vial's up to 2. They've given up on the Lackey in their hand. Here comes Ringleader. What's the payoff? We got a War Marshal and a War Chief. Yeah, War Marshal, it is a 2, but it and all its tokens die instantly when that comes into play. Oh, nice. It's a good turn for a Brainstorm. Storm, Wasteland is pretty cool. Life from the Loam. Yeah, I don't need this Delta if I'm loaming. And I think I should save the trophy. Okay, I'm gonna Wasteland their Badlands, because Muxus is over there somewhere. And green, black, Loam. Pick up these 2 lands. I'm holding up Trophy, which I can use to break up any tricks they might have. Like, if they put 2 goblins into play, which are 1/1s, which they have War Chief and Ringleader, and then they play Munitions Expert, even though the Expert dies, it'll still see the 2 goblins that are still in play, but then I can trophy in response to that. And we're still in business doing that. So I don't like that they left Vial on 2. Does that mean they have an answer? There's the War Chief. Is one of your cards in hand the Munitions Expert? It is! If only we had planned ahead for such a possibility. Bang! They just straight up conceded to that blowout. And you all wanted me to cast Ponder. Tut, tut, tut. Okay. We have an actual win on the board. 2 wins with if we count the timeout. Let's keep it going. On the draw in round 4, I'm going to keep this hand with Brainstorm and Force of Will and lands to cast them. Uh-oh. A Mox Opal strategy. My seeds. Where are my seeds? Seeds of Innocence would be a 4 for 1 right now, where they gain 0 life. Prepare your body for that. Thought Monitor on turn 1. This isn't really I want to point a Force of Will, but they are down to 1 card in hand. They're going to bobble back up to 2 more. Okay. I'm going to force, and I'm going to pitch the Brainstorm, because dress down, like this is a Saga deck, and that matters. If I draw Wasteland, I'm actually in really good shape. Alright, they just saw Life from the Loam with their Urza's Bobble. Alright, replace the Brainstorm immediately. Feel good about that one. Okay, they see the top card of my deck. I can shuffle that away for a Protect Information if I think that's important. 4 cards in their hand. Please don't kill me. They bobbled themselves. Alright, the Saga. The plan's coming together. I am actually going to fetch to hide whatever information that was. Oh, I should have gotten Triome if I was going to do that. Come on, man. Tighten up. Alright. What do I need? Underground Sea, cast Thoughtseize if I draw it, and cast Brainstorm if I don't. Wasteland. I think I want to hit the Ancient Tomb with this. Because I have the constructs covered anyway, and if this land dies after a couple turns, especially since Opal's not on right now, they can't actually even make constructs if I hit Ancient Tomb, unless they have another land. And Loam Wasteland is a combo against decks like this. A Verdant Catacombs. I'm going to pass the turn. I'm going to dress them down. I'm going to let this happen. I'm not going to let the search happen. I'm going to fetch for a green source in response. The Tropical Island. Now I'm kind of hoping they cast a Thought Monitor this turn, and I can catch that in the dress down. Retrofitter. Yeah! Please don't have Force of Will. Please don't have Force of Will. Please don't have Force of Will. No! My life is shit. Alright, that was my whole plan to win game 1. We had a sick blowout lined up, but they had the force backup. I'm not beating this now. If this board was a 2-2 and 2 lands that slowly died to Wasteland, we'd be fine, but they had the force, so that's that. I can at least cast Ponder like I have another thing to do, but I don't. I'm going to shuffle and then concede. Yeah, there was not a real way through that. That was just too much with the second round still coming. Now it's time for Seeds of Innocence to join the chat. Null Rod. Seems like a good one. Do I want crop rotations? That's just like more wastelands in the deck. I'm not... Bog and Caracas don't really do anything against this deck. Don't really want to be Abrupt Decaying. I don't really want a Toxic Deluge for 6, but if that's what the board looks like, then I'm going to be glad I had it. We saw Psy. They pitched Psy to Force of Will, so Plague Engineer on Thopter both bricks Psy and it stops Retrofitter Foundry from going crazy. Abrupt Decay can hit the Foundry or like a Mox Opal, or it can fight a Construct token. Raven's Crime and Force of Negation are not great. I don't think Fatal Push... well, Fatal Push, if it hits Psy, or if they have Emery, those sort of targets are really good. Force of Will's important. Liliana the Veil might suck. Yeah, that's not really where you want to be here. Shark Typhoon's probably too slow. I gotta win this game somehow. I think that means I want to keep Jace. Endurance gives me a creature I can cast while also respecting the possibility of Emery. And Strix actually just seems really slow here. Strix buys time to get up to... Okay, Strix better than Fatal Push? Is Decay better than Fatal Push? I think Decay is definitely better than Fatal Push. And then, like, Urza is the card that Fatal Push can get that Decay can't, and that's the only one. Alright, I'm going back in on Strix, cutting the Fatal Pushes instead. Oh wait, Caracas checks Sai, Urza, Emery. Alright, Caracas is in the deck. This is the new plan. This hand is not good against my opponent's strategy. I guess, I mean, it hits land drops and cantrips a lot, but is that enough here? I'm going to keep it. It has Island Ponder. If you don't live for something, you'll die for nothing. Island Ponder, let's go. Okay, Trophy that I can't cast till turn 3, Endurance. I think I want Trophy and the land, and then I'll shuffle away the Endurance. I can Brainstorm into the Endurance. I got options. Seed of the Synod, Emery confirmed a member of this deck. And milled Urza's Bauble, Sai, and Thought Monitor. And Bauble is tap draw a card, which is one of the better modes of Emery. I don't believe for a second that pitch casting Endurance here is the right play. I could play Triome. No, I have so many lands. Triome is better as a land this game. I'm going to Brainstorm, see if I can find an answer to Emery. Force of Will. I'm not mad to see that. The Zagoth Triumph can go back into the deck, and Bayou can go into the deck. I can Trophy next turn if I need to do that. I'm really just cantripping for seeds. Just let me cast my seeds. They're going for the Bauble. You can also hardcast Endurance next turn to clear out this graveyard. But if they stack their Baubles correctly, then I can never get all of them. Nettle Cyst. I can Assassin's Trophy that. But then Emery is still in play. Alright, tricky. Their Bauble just saw Force of Will at random. I'll fetch for the Triome, actually. Just get the mana set up here. Uro. I like that card. I like it a lot. I can Trophy the Emery now. Or I could play Endurance. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend this turn casting Endurance. I can wait for Emery to target something and dip their graveyard. Opal, re-Opal. Sai. That card's really good. I think I'm going to point a Force of Will at that. And I think it has to exile Uro, because Brainstorm is too important here. They're going for Bauble. I'm going to Endurance them. This is what I left my mana up to do this turn. Just stifles Emery. She's still in play for now, but at least denies that extra draw. Nettle Cyst can clap for 5. Not going to block. That's not what I'm here to do. They baubled me. I drew Delta. I'm going to start with Brainstorm. Okay, that's a lot of stuff I don't want. I'm going to fetch, cast Strix, and leave up Zagoth Triome. Blue-black. Okay, Strix answers the Nettle Cyst. I'm going to attack with Endurance. It's not blocking, so might as well turn it sideways. Uh-oh. Chalice on 1. Okay. Not every build has that. This one apparently does. All my answers to it are in the deck, so that doesn't really change much. Baubled me off of Emery. Nettle Cyst on D. Misty Rainforest. Didn't want that. Not one bit. I will fetch with it, though. Get a basic forest. Cast Loam for the full 3 cards. And I am ready to defend with Assassin's Trophy. Oh, okay. They had Force Negation. Powerful. Okay, I'm going to kill Emery now. I think she's the thing between me and stability right now. They do have at least one basic in their deck. Oh no, they're tapping so much mana. They had Urza. Urza was the follow-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can take Urza for a spin right now. And immediately replace their Emery. That went well. They're Baleful Strix. I need you to cantrip into Seeds of Innocence. But even that kills my Strixes. But this could have been a lot worse, honestly. Oh, Field of the Dead. Alright, I'm going to play Island this turn, and then I'll play Field next turn. And at least we're doing something. My 2 Strixes can block the Construct and the Nettle Cyst Germ. They get a bunch of Urza spins, and they get redraws with Emery. But in the meantime, I'm chilling. Another bauble. Yeah, it turns out 1 mana 1/2 that taps to draw a card is a powerful card, even in Legacy. Yeah, they're just making Urza flips now. They hit Thought Monitor. Come on, are there no lands in your deck? How does this keep happening? They flip Mox Opal. Okay, that one's a brick. Put it away. Oh, it's not a brick because it taps and casts the Thought Monitor in their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 1 mana short of spinning Urza again. Dress down. Look who decided to show. Well, I can sit on this dress down for a little while. It kills the construct outright. And they have more constructs coming out of the saga. I think I have to sit on this, which is dangerous because they're drawing so many cards. They're likely to have another force at some point. Sai is dangerous. All these cards are bad for me. Welcome to my deck. Yeah, the grindy half of the blue Urza decks is really hard for fair blue decks to beat. I have Life from the Loam to trump my enemies, and they have Urza and Emery. Karn's probably in there somewhere. Okay, I'm going to block the Nettlecyst Germ, and then my Endurance has Reach. I'll take 2 from the other Thought Monitor. And killing Thought Monitor is not even great because Emery can cast it next turn. Ooh. Is it time, or do I wait? And Emery just rebuilds quickly. Yeah, I think I give it another turn of development. I'd also really like to protect this with a spell if I can. There's a construct. I think Dress Down might be enough to bait a Force of Will. We'll see. Retrofitter. There it is. Another saga. Relentless. Relentless pummeling. Okay, I'm going to Dress Down in response to this Thought Monitor. Okay, that was good enough for a Force of Will. Let's see if that was enough to clear their hand. They do still have 3 cards over there, and they can make flips with Urza. Oh, am I just dead? No, I have 3 blockers. Yeah, they can make 3 lethal attackers. If they re-equip Nettlecyst, then they have 2 constructs plus whatever's holding the Nettlecyst. But I have 3 blockers. 2 of them can fly or have reach. Assisting up the monitor. Unfortunately, they're good at doing combat math. So block, block. I would love to block that Sai with my Death Touch creature, but they know that I can't because they have 3 lethal attackers. Yeah, I think I'm going to Seeds, and it's not even going to be enough. Their non-artifact engines of Sai, Emery, and Urza are all in play. It just doesn't matter. And they're going to draw 2 more cards before my next turn. Harsh. Okay. Seeds. Seeds. Yeah, they had the Force. Didn't need it. They were winning that game, even if that resolved. A crushing defeat. It's the final round. I've finally won a die roll. I'm going to keep this hand. I have turn 2 Sylvan Library with some protection. My plan is to fetch Triome, unless they're representing Wasteland somehow. Alright, Underground Sea does not represent Wasteland. I'll get my Triome set up. These lands don't fetch basic forest anyway, so I can't plan basics. Even if I thought that was important, which I probably don't against the Underground Sea deck. Library. Underground Sea, go. This has to be a combo deck, right? Brainstorm. Just trying to think of what deck would keep Underground Sea go without a cantrip, without a 1-drop. Thoughtseize. My thoughts! They're starting to clear the way for whatever their thing is. Took Brainstorm. Planning for a longer game there. I'm just going to keep all of these cards. And that's my plan. Oh, 3 more lands. That's not what I want. Shuffle the library and pass. Dress Down's actually a really good draw if they are Doomsday. Preordain. This is a combo deck. To be determined whether it's Doomsday or a Storm deck. Duress. Targeting me? Okay. They took Ponder. Fascinating. Like, normally this plan is good, but Sylvan Library is just in play right now. It's right there. Beating up on the cantrips. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to pivot off the normal heuristics in this case. Okay, put on top. Put on top. Wasteland you. Cast Life from the Loam. Pick up my Wasteland. Do I want to fetch? Yeah, sure. Just max out my Loam here. Tropical Island. Leave up the 3 colors of mana. They're going to be waste-locked next turn, so they have to make a move through my Force of Will. Maybe I should have waited on Loam, so I'm also holding up Dress Down this turn. Weird. They said whoops in the chat and then conceded. I don't know what mistake they made, but off we go. I have to assume they're Doomsday. Main deck Duress, 2 Underground Seas for lands, Preordain. It's definitely a combo deck, and Doomsday is the one that I think it's most likely that they actually are. Oh, Endurance and Flusterstorm come in. I mean, Surgical Extraction has some text. Like, if you counter 1 Doomsday, you can shred them all out of the deck. You could also shuffle their pile post-Doomsday and hope that makes things weird for them. Fatal Push is bad. Raven's Crime may be playable. Dress Down phenomenal. Lily of the Veil actually is really good. If we get into a sort of Drago situation and Lily can start chewing up their hand, the minus is flavor text, but the plus could actually be good. Library dominated that game. Normally I would think it's too slow, but that is not the case here. I think I can go to 1 Loam. They're not going to be beating up my Loams or my lands. And beating up their lands probably doesn't matter much, and if it does matter, it'll be a mid-game situation. Trophy can destroy their lands also, and force shuffles of their deck. Jace is blue, Thoughtseize is great. A Raven's Crime is fine, I guess. It interacts with their resources. Not in a way I'm excited about, but it's not nothing. And being literally not nothing is valuable to me here. Yeah, maybe one of the trophies goes. That's just the least valuable of the things I'm looking at right now, even though it does have relevant text. I guess it could be Uro. Like, go down to 2 Uros, just try to survive. Uro pitches to Force and Endurance. Trophy only pitches to Endurance. Yeah, I think I like Uro better than Trophy. Let's do it like that. This hand is, kind of tricky. I'm going to keep it, though. If they go off fast, I just lose. I don't have a green card for this Endurance, and all of my lands come into play tapped. Oh, we're not losing on turn 1. They led on Volcanic Island. Guess they could Lotus Petal me. They top-bottomed that. Okay, Force of Will gives me a little bit of breathing room. Get the Triome in. Brainstorm. And Flooded Strand go. Alright. Sculpty. This is actually a pretty good Brainstorm turn. There's a lot of cards in my hand I don't really want to be in my hand. Wow! That did not improve. Okay, Baleful Strix and Endurance on top of the deck? Or Baleful Strix, Thoughtseize on top of the deck? No, Endurance, Thoughtseize on top of the deck. Endurance and Thoughtseize in that order. I don't have a green card to pitch, so I'm going to hide those interactive spells. My opponent has to beat Double Force, and I can Thoughtseize them next turn, get a taste for what's going on over there. Ponders what's going on over there. Thoughtseize, okay. Have a look. I have 2 of everything. And I just hid my best cards on top, so live in fear of that. Took one of the forces. 5 cards left in their hand. This is not a situation where I can afford to try to brainstorm into the land drop as much as I'd like to, but I just have to cast my Thoughtseize here. Which does give them perfect information, but it also messes up their shit. Ooh, Wishclaw Talisman was the only real card in your hand. This is not Doomsday. This looks like PETA Storm, actually. Peer into the Abyss Storm. That's what I think we're dealing with here. Fascinating. Okay. Alright. Good to know. That Thoughtseize was worth a lot. It means that Endurance is not actually as good as I thought it was. For starters. Though, if they are counting on Cabal Ritual, Endurance could still be great. I'm going to Brainstorm and switch this hand up. Okay, Basic Swamp. As far as basic lands I could draw go, that's not the worst one. and Sylvan Library is a nice one to find. I'll hide Library on top and crack him with the Raven's Crime. Show you who's boss. Just fill up that graveyard for Threshold. They discarded the Tendrils. They must have more than one of those in the deck. Right now, they need a Piece of Disruption and a Payoff. They have 3 rituals and 2 mystery cards. I could snap Thoughtseize and then ponder next turn. I could ponder and try to snap Thoughtseize now. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start pushing towards the finish line, because if I wait forever, they're going to get me. Oh, this actually sucks. I'm going to shuffle this. Come on, land. Tilt. Okay, I got a little greedy there. I think the play was fine. It just didn't work out. Do I want to force this? I don't think so. They have to get through the force this turn, and I'm going to snap Thoughtseize next turn. They bottomed Preordain. That's what you like to see. Okay, good. We've unlocked some additional colors of mana here. Blue, colorless, Snapcaster. Let's have another look. Seize you. Abrupt Decay, a bunch of rituals, and Infernal Tutor. Okay. Got it. I should probably ponder here. Yeah, that's gonna happen. And I'm gonna do it off of Tropical Island. That lets me cast Endurance next turn. Another Endurance, a Ponder, and a land. Are these things important to me? I don't think so. I'm gonna shuffle that away. Okay, a Force blue card and Endurance green card. They have a bunch of rituals, no disruption, no payoff. Okay, Preordain. I might force like a Brainstorm in this situation that really changes their hand, but Preordain only changes 1 card at a time. Ooh, Fluster. I like Fluster. I don't have the mana to cast Fluster. Well, I do. It's just, I mean, I can't Endurance and Fluster. I have to pick one or the other. I'm going to beat up their Underground Sea. If they want to keep casting discard spells and shit, they're going to have to fetch to do it. They also have to crack both their fetch lands to cast this Abrupt Decay right now. I'm going to put the Pedal to the Metal with Endurance. I am going to tuck their graveyard. Tucking that Tendrils might have actually helped them. And if I draw Surgical now, it's going to be embarrassing, but having the clock is important. And good time as any to sneak in Sylvan Library. I have Force Fluster up. That's all I have to make my stand with. They could decay Endurance here, just to buy some time. Definitely okay with that situation. Oh, they're going after a Library. They're really settling in for a long game. Yeah, they're betting on their draw step over mine. Like, killing Endurance gives them a bunch of extra draw steps. Leaving Library in play gives me a bunch of extra cards I can see. Oh, that was actually a pretty cool decision point. However, I am putting them to 3. But they have a second decay. It wasn't really a decision point. They just had to. Fair enough. I can Strix here. And I have Force blue card and Flusterstorm still. They've not regrown their Threshold yet. Preordain. Yep. That's not the fight. They are back on Threshold. The Dark Ritual will be the 7th card for the 2 Cabal rituals. Oof. This is a tough one. I don't really want them brainstorming, but I don't know if I can afford to spend a force on it. I'm gonna. Let's go. Please don't Veil of Summer me. Cool. Got away with that one. I don't have to survive that much longer, really. Okay, in for 3. They're at 2. Unfortunately, that is enough life to still cast Peer into the Abyss. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to Strix here. Blue-black. Like, there are Thoughtseizes in my deck. There's things I can do for 1 mana. Surgical Extractions. Okay, now I'm holding up. Oh, I should have Ravens Crimed. Yeah, I should have Ravens Crimed. Whoops. Okay, they're dead on board. If they can beat Flusterstorm, they win. 3 of their 5 cards in hand are rituals, which are pretty good at beating Flusterstorm. Dark Ritual resolves. Dark Ritual resolves. Oh, I have 4 mana, though. I can... Yeah, I can tuck their... Yeah, I can brick their Cabal rituals. And then also Flusterstorm. Just gotta hope their last card in hand isn't Tendrils. Okay, that one works because it's an instant. Well played. Get your graveyard out of here for the second one. They go to 9 mana. And Thoughtseize me from 2. Resolves. Well played. Went 2 and 3 officially. We had lethal on board in a timeout round. Another 60 seconds on the clock. We win that one pretty easily. But it was a complicated game. This deck definitely grinds. I like it. I think that it's missing a color. Like, unfortunately, like I hate to say it, the state of Magic right now, or Legacy, is that the control decks usually need 4 colors to keep up with the other decks in the format. Like, you need to dip into Deafening Silence in the sideboard, or Swords to Plowshares, or Prismatic Ending, or Red Elemental Blast, or Expressive Iteration. Like, you probably usually have to go in another direction, which, to fill out this bug deck, I'm never a fan of Raven's Crime. I know there are a lot of people I trust who like it in the format, but it always underperforms for me. Liliana of the Veil as a one-of is kind of like just a random card that I'm not convinced lines up well against Legacy right now. You're also a deck that wants to keep cards in your hand. Like, you have Loam to mitigate Liliana, but when you're not Loaming, Liliana hurts you as much as it hurts anyone else. Fatal Push is just a significantly worse Magic card than both Swords to Plowshares and Prismatic Ending. There's just a lot of card choices you have to make because you're bug. Some of these can be cleaned up, though. Like, these 2 slots, the Crime and the Liliana, they could be Leovold, they could be Narset. There are powerful permanents in the bug colors that this deck isn't playing yet, that, depending on what your metagame looks like, how you want to line it up. Trophy was good this league. There were situations, we played against lands, where Trophy was much better than Abrupt Decay. The second Endurance I did like. Endurance is just always a good card every time you draw it. It just has text against everybody for the most part, and I liked having the increased number of those. Shark Typhoon we never got to use. Jace was good. I think it showed up once, and it was good. It beat that Lance player. We spent some amount of time in this league being in trouble to Wasteland, which for a deck with 5 basics feels like something's missing in that calculation. Like, it was nice having just 5 basics in the deck against the lands deck with Wasteland Loam going. That was pretty clutch. Though I think there might be an opportunity to just lean into more non-basics, really make sure your colors are set up. Because there were a lot of games where I like pondered on turn 1, then couldn't cast Assassin Trophy on turn 2. And that sort of thing is going to happen. There's also 3 colorless lands in the deck, and 1 that comes into play tapped in Zagoth Triome. The field also comes into play tapped and is colorless, but it's our win con, so it gets a pass. All of these cards are good. The gameplay is fun. I do just think that adding the 4th color is pretty close to just right at this point. Unless you're married to the Sultai life and it's a bug's life out here and you just really want to play pure bug, then something like this is reasonable. With those flex slots I mentioned, the Raven's Crime, the Liliana, the number of Strixes and Typhoons you can fool around with, the number of forces you can fool around with. I don't know if you need all 5 in a deck that also has Thoughtseize. Like those are the sort of flex slots you can play with at the edges. I would add a color. If you don't want to add a color, add some powerful permanents like Narset or Leovold. And that's what I'm thinking about this deck. You could also add 20 more cards and make it a Yorion deck. We're back into a mid-range war of the format where Yorion seems to be just showing up in decks. Other than Death and Taxes, it's just games are going long when it's fair, and the unfair matchups, you just stack your deck to have game against and make them go longer. And Yorion, I don't think this build of the deck would ever beat a Yorion build of the deck. Like, that's kind of just a truism across constructed Magic. I think the Yorion version of any fair deck will beat the non-Yorion version because you just have so much, you're going to go so much bigger later on, and the game is going to go that long and it is going to matter. So that's another consideration of where to take this deck. I'm going to cut it off there. Hunter, thank you once again for having me play Bug. It's been fun working on this deck with you over all these months. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the merch, check out the Patreon, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.